Today we are going to talk exactly about removing limiting beliefs, because when I did this at the start of this year in March, what happened is that just one day after this I closed the client for 2K cash collected. So right now I'm going to put on the screen exactly this Stripe invoice that I've got after I have managed to remove my limiting belief. Because guys, this is the only thing that's making you not succeed on your journey. Now, what kind of limiting belief I removed was that some people just don't want to work with you. Let me explain what I mean by that. Is that when I was looking for people to work with, I was doing my prospecting. I was trying to understand, okay, who can I help with my skills in order for me to make money? There was this guy, this exact guy who paid me 2K. I was looking at his channel and I'm like, this guy just knows what he's doing. He's a good person, you know. Why would he want to work with me? Like, I had no clue why he really wanted to work with me. So I was like, okay, either way, I'm going to do an outreach for him. Because I put aside my limiting belief. And when I've done that, I did the outreach for him. He booked a call and I cash collected $2,000. And that's why I say removing limiting beliefs is the exact reason you can move forward to reaching your goals. Whether that's 10K per month, whether that's just closing your first client, whether that's getting your first coaching client, whatever it is, you have a limiting belief that forces you to stay where you are at right now and not allowing you to move to the next level. Because what are exactly limiting beliefs? And that's where we are going to start right now. When we are talking about limiting beliefs, we are talking about the belief systems. What belief systems are is a simple process I'm going to draw down right here, which literally changes your reality. So how belief systems work? This is a belief system. A belief system has 4 different parts. There is an input, there is a process, there is an output, and there is a feedback loop. Now, this is exactly what a system means. Every kind of system has an input, process, output, and a feedback loop. And it has an environment, but with belief system, that's not important. So you need to understand that everything is a system, and your belief systems work in a similar fashion. So let me explain what exactly I mean by that and how they are literally not allowing you to get to your desired outcome. Okay? So let's start with the first thing. The input that you get in your belief system is information. The process your belief system goes through is actually your belief, and the output is going to be your reality. Now, this kind of seems a bit crazy, but let me explain exactly what this means. So, right now, in your life, you have beliefs. What a belief is a statement of perceived truth. If I think this whiteboard is beautiful or not, then I have a belief whether it's that or not that. So it's like that's a perceived truth. I don't know what's the reality, I've just perceived it to be this on my end. So that's my belief. And with everything in life, we have similar beliefs, either around money, about getting clients, about just getting better in your life. You have beliefs, and these beliefs are created due to your environment and what kind of experiences you had in your life. So that's how your beliefs actually form, and that's how this comes into this belief system. Now, when we are talking about a belief system, there is an information right here which you're going to consume and put through your beliefs, and your reality is going to get out of that. Now, what I mean by that is that let's say just meet with a billionaire and you sit down to talk with him. And the billionaire says that, yeah, in order to become a billionaire, you have to do X, Y, and Z. This is the information the billionaire is going to provide you. But if you, in your mind, you don't believe that you can become a billionaire, like fundamentally you don't believe in yourself to become a billionaire, then you're not going to become a billionaire, and that's all. That's exactly all. There is no other thing coming here, because your beliefs exactly change your reality. And it's like, if you get all this information, you believe that you cannot be a billionaire, your reality is that you're never going to be a billionaire. And this does seem a bit crazy, because of course I'm not going to be a billionaire or something like that, you think. Yeah, 100%, we don't want to talk about that. But let's just get a different example. If you watch a video about how to get clients and you learn the information about getting clients and it's X, but you fundamentally believe that you don't deserve to get a client, your reality is never going to be getting an actual client. So that's why beliefs are really important. And this is why we call some beliefs limiting beliefs and some beliefs supporting beliefs. Because if you have the wrong belief, then you're not going to be able to change your reality. Now the question becomes, how do we define what's a supporting and a limiting belief when it comes down exactly to what is your goal? So hypothetically speaking, this is your goal. This should be a star. This is a North Star. This is your goal. But right now, if you want to get to this point, then you have to decide whether your beliefs, what you have right now, is either supporting this goal or just making it even worse. And that's where we draw the line. Either the belief you have supports your goal or just gets you away from your goal. And if it supports your goal, supporting belief, you don't have to deal with that. If it removes or it just distances you from your goal, then that's what we call limiting belief. And all limiting beliefs have to be removed in order for you to reach your North Star. Because think about it, if you believe at one point that yes, you can make money, you 100% believe that you can generate money, but you don't believe that you can get clients, then you're going to be continuously at this line and never move up to your actually star. So that's why exactly removing the negative beliefs is going to be the biggest upside when it comes to reaching your goals. Now, exactly guys, how to remove negative beliefs. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. There is two ways how you can remove your negative beliefs. One is a part which I've done and it never worked for me, and this is what we call through affirmations. And there is another part which I right now like to use, and I think that does have a lot of help, is basically information. Now let me explain exactly what are the differences between them and how can you use it for yourself. Now, when it comes to affirmations, as I mentioned, your beliefs are formed through the experiences that you have. So let's draw down a scale. This should be a scale. There is this scale and there is here two baskets, and we have here experiences. And what happens is that your belief around something, X, will be decided due to these two baskets, whether which has more. So let's say these are negatives, and let's say these are the positives. So if you have more positive experiences, then your scale is going to tick this way and you 100% believe whatever that may thing be. Let's say this is the best example to talk about. This is that money is abundant. If we talk about this belief, if you had experiences where you, your family, and didn't have money, you're not going to believe that money is abundant because you had more experiences through that. But when you had more experiences about when money was abundant, you're going to think that money is abundance. You're living in this abundance of money, and if not, then you're living in scarcity of money. Now, one part on how you can change these beliefs is that you right now in your mind can create new experiences about a belief. So let me explain how that works. So in our brain, there is what we call a reality threshold. And what that reality threshold means is that can you see that? I'm not sure you can see that. The reality threshold means that your brain decides whether an experience is imagination or reality is just a simple line. Now think about it this way. If you are eating spicy food, you eat a spicy food, it's not spicy enough. You put more spicy, flavoring on it, and it's too spicy. This is exactly the same how our brain works on deciding what's imagination and what's reality. So literally our brain can't tell if something was imagination if you make it so much flavored. Now what I mean by that is that you can literally create experiences that you desire if you use your brain to create those imaginations. If you sit down and imagine that money is abundant, but in a way where you're experiencing that money is abundant, you have your dream car, you have your dream house, you have this, you have that. You can literally create experiences where money is abundant, and you're going to tick this scale to your part, and money is going to be abundant. So how you can literally remove the negative beliefs is by changing these beliefs through the scale, by picking a belief and creating positive imaginations and positive experiences around that belief, which are so much flavored that it's going to be, your mind is going to think that that is reality. And how you do that is exactly this. Let's say I'm going to show you this. My dream car is a AMG GT. This is a G63, but the other dream car is a GT63 as well. So this is a G63. Now this is my dream car. What I can do with this is that I can right now, imagine that, let's say I have my dream car and I'm opening the car's door, then I'm sitting in, I can feel the leather, I can feel the wheel, I can feel how the car feels like. And if I create imaginations, or I imagine this, what is going to happen is that my mind is going to think or experience these as reality. And if I create these experiences, my mind is going to think that this is abundant. Now, this is one way of changing your beliefs. But there is a problem with this, or what I have already experienced, and I'm going to talk about why I don't like this. I already created a video about this, and I'm not going to go such in depth about this because it's going to take, it takes a lot of time to explain this. But in Carl Jung's theory of self, there is your ego, there is your shadow, and there is yourself. What happens is that if you create these experiences, what is going to happen is that you're going to create distinctions whether what's good and what's bad. Now what I mean by that is that if you want to change your belief, you want to change, right now let's say, money is not abundant, let's say in your family, and you want to change this, and you start creating these experiences where money is going to be abundant. What's really going to happen is you imagine your car, you touch it, you feel it and everything like that. What is going to happen is not just you're changing your belief, but you're making your current environment seem bad. What I mean by that is you're not accepting what's happening right now and you want to move out from it, but you're accepting that money is abundant is good and where I am right now is bad. So this is where you create the ego and the shadow. And what's going to happen is that when you create that, your current environment where you're at right now is going to create negative emotions because you have finally decided that, this life where you have cars and the dream home you have is the only state where you want to be in because you have created those experiences. So that distinction, because you have created that, will result in negative experiences in your current life because you don't have what you not dreamt, but what you created for yourself as an experience. So for that reason, this works at one part and doesn't work at a different part. That was my experience. If you have done this and it worked for you, I'm very happy to hear that. For me, just this didn't work. So I needed to have a different way of removing my limiting beliefs. And this is where exactly I realized that, guys, this shit of information, belief, reality is not real. Now, what I exactly mean by that is that how you're going to create that reality is a cause and effect. So there is a cause and there is an effect. So what's really happening is that your reality is created by what you truly believe and what kind of action you take, because only cause is going to create the effect, and the effect is what kind of reality you have, whether you have money, whether you don't have money. But if what you truly want is, let's say, more money, in order for you to get there, the only thing you actually need to do is take action. So beliefs are good, and it's a really good way to view how reality goes in this way. But in order for you to take the right action, what you need to do is have the right information. And when you have the right information, you're going to get to the right reality. So what I mean by that is that, hey, I want to make $10,000 a month. Okay, you can change your beliefs if you have cars and you have this stupid stuff. Like, are you going to really get to $10,000 a month? No. Why is that? Exactly. Because you're not doing shit. This can help you if you're taking action. If you're not doing shit, then you're not going to get there. So action is the only thing which is going to get you to your 10K per month. So that's good and understood, right? So the question becomes is what I mean by information. Well, how can you take the best action that's cause, this cause which you have created is going to create the best effect? Well, if you have the right information. And how this comes back to removing limiting beliefs is that a lot of times you are not getting what you want due to the lack of information, and because of that, the lack of action, and because of that, you try to decide what kind of limiting belief I have. So it's not about the limiting belief, it's about the lack of information, which comes back to the lack of action, which comes back to the lack of effect. So if you want to get to your dream outcome and you do feel that you have limiting beliefs, this could be a way to solve it, but you're not going to get there with this. If you search for the information that will allow you to take the best action possible, which is going to take you to your effect, which is your reality, which you really desire, then everything is going to be aligned. So what you need is search for the right information which will allow you to do the right action, which will allow you to take the right effect. And now you could say that, yeah, Robert, but the beliefs, but this, that, blah. Well, of course, some parts your beliefs do matter. And that's why there is one more step before the information. So, if you really want to change your life and you really want to get your desired outcome, information at some point is not enough. Because let's say, like, I have seen this problem with myself. I haven't reached my goal. And I'm like, why haven't I reached my goal? And I realized that, hey, it's because what I usually do is that on the Mondays, I'm so logged in, I'm working so much that it's incomprehensible. On the Tuesday, I'm a bit lacking. Wednesday, I'm lacking a bit more. Thursday, I'm again working a bit more. And on Friday, I'm again logged in. And on Saturday, again, I'm like half logged in and half logged out. And it's like, so Monday is a pure working day, which is really good. And Friday and you know, Saturday is where I'm really putting on a lot of effort. So Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, I'm really lacking what I should do. And it's like, yes, this could be a belief problem. But on the other hand, if I solve my belief, what the fuck is going to happen? Nothing. I need to take action to solve this to get to my desired outcome. But what must have happened before, you know, taking the right action is being aware of this problem or this wrong belief, whatever you want to name it. So if you really want to get your desired outcome, what you need to do is understand what's holding you back, get the information, take the action, and get your desired outcome. And that's why it's really hard at the start to get there. Because when you're a newbie, you don't even know what's the problem or aka why you're not getting where you want to go. And that's why it's really important to get a mentor, to get a coach, and get help from someone who have already went through the path you want to go through. So for that reason, actually, if you're interested, you can click the link in the down below in the description. There is going to be a link to my calendar where you can book in a call and I can help you out with this whole entire stuff and reaching finally your goals, okay? So, talking about this, awareness is the first step, because if you are aware of the information you need, then you can get it and finally take action and create the desired effect you really, truly desire, okay? So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was all powerful and helpful for you. You really need to understand this and decide which route you want to take in order for you to reach your goals. I love this because this has this included in the form of I do realize I have beliefs, but I'm actually changing my reality, because only yapping about changing your reality or imagining changing your reality is not going to help you, okay? So thank you so much for watching. Let me see you in the next one.